Hello, I am Claudia, and I am the CEO and founder of Edsights. So at Edsights, we help universities retain their students. So before I go into how we go about doing that, I'll give you a bit of background on myself. So I am from a small country in Southern Europe called Italy, where a lot of people are pretty happy and very lazy. And so when I turned 18, I moved to the US for college. I went to Georgetown, and my college experience at Georgetown was a very particular one, a very weird one in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things about the US college system I just didn't know about. To give you an idea, I didn't know what a GPA was because we didn't use GPAs in Italy. I didn't know that if I was needing help, I could reach out to an advisor and schedule a meeting. I didn't know that when I didn't have friends, I could join a club or reach out to a peer mentor. And so in a lot of ways, my college experience was a lot tougher than it had to be, and it was pretty comparable to that of a first generation student. And so I studied computer science at Georgetown, and my junior year of college, I actually developed a mobile application that helped students share their struggles with each other and help each other out. It started off as a side project, really something that I wanted for myself. But it quickly grew to over 200 universities in just a couple of months. And so it grew really quickly, but what was really interesting about the mobile app was that a lot of administrators were actually reaching out to me because they wanted this non-cognitive student data. They wanted to know, what are students struggling with and how can we help them out to actually increase retention. So I'm not going to go into the retention problem because I know all of you have heard so much about it. But it's obviously a massive problem both for students and for universities. And you're probably thinking right now, gosh, not another retention solution. But the truth is that retention is still probably the number one problem in higher education, or one of really up there in terms of priority. And the administrators are still trying to look for solutions to it, as became evident with me with the mobile application. And so why has retention barely gone up? Well, there are a lot of really big companies that you probably heard about that are trying to solve retention. But the issue with those solutions is that they'll look at grades and academic performance to try and flag students at risk of leaving school. And there's two key issues with this approach. The first one is that only 25% of students who drop out do so for academic reasons. So those solutions are really only looking at a part of the problem. And then the other big issue is that grades are lagging indicators, so they oftentimes need a couple semesters to go by before they can identify trends. So these are a couple shortcomings with those solutions, but what is really shocking to me, I guess, is that while students are really the protagonists of retention, all these solutions are completely keeping students out of the conversation. I mean, they are running complicated algorithms behind administrator doors, but they're never really asking students, hey, what are you struggling with? Are you stressed? How can I help you out? And so that's essentially what we're doing. We are involving students in the conversation. We are talking to them throughout the semester. It's all automated, so it's not me texting from my office, but it's all automated, and we are checking in with students. We ask them how things are going, and then when we identify that a student is struggling with something, we connect them to a helpful on-campus resource. This is something that I know I would have loved in college, and that is also really interesting data that administrators have never seen before, because they have data on grades, financial data, but they don't know how students are actually feeling. And so the result is that when we walk into an institution, student engagement is really high. We see about 70% student engagement. Our prediction accuracy is about 89%, and we've already increased retention by over 7% and saved universities millions of dollars. We're basically getting love letters from VPs of enrollment and deans of students. And since we started selling to the public after piloting in January, we've sold to already 5 universities in just a couple of months. So this is a bit about our team. We're attracting phenomenal talent. My co-founder is my sister. She was working at Bloomberg previously, managing all of their university clients there. Our CTO, Neil Shah, was one of the first employees at Everfi, which is one of the fastest growing edtech companies out there. Our head of product, just to give you an idea, he has over 10 years of full stack development experience, and he was previously working at Google, which he left for us. And yeah, so that's it. We're super excited to continue growing, and yeah, thank you. If you have any questions or want to talk to me, feel free to come up to me, or you can also email me at claudia@edsights.io. Thank you.